The government of Kenya is keen on the development of social economic infrastructure to support the realization of the Big Four agenda and Vision 2030. The ambitious infrastructure projects are aimed at opening up the country for business and bolster productivity, particularly in the agricultural, manufacturing and the service industry, as this would bolster employment opportunities. Part of these critical infrastructure projects include the ongoing 27-kilometer expressway linking Nairobi's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and Nairobi's Westlands. Upon completion, the expressway will exponentially reduce travel times within Nairobi and thus help the country save man-hours, which is being lost in the traffic jams on a daily basis. The Lake Victoria Port Modernization Project to increase cargo handling capacity of the port and to increase Kenya's bilateral and multilateral trading within the region. The expansion of healthcare facilities to facilitate fruition of the country's universal healthcare coverage under the Big Four agenda. By speeding up movement of people and goods, the government is aiming to promote trading through reduction of travel times and costs.
It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is. It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, "He is our son and he is our thief."
If you are deviant and I call you leader,
Yes.
probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth in the security, governance, and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers, do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa. The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
Good morning to you and thank you so much for joining us today. This is The Punch. My name is Miriam Ruto, and on today's show, usually we recap the news making headlines that we've been looking at for the week, and also we shall be looking at the news making headlines this morning in the three leading newspapers here in Kenya. We shall look at the Star newspaper, the Standard newspaper, as well as the Daily Nation, and we have so much in store for you in light of what happened yesterday in the by-elections that were witnessed in this country. A bit shameful and worrying, some scenes that we saw yesterday there. And so I have with me on the panel this morning to look at these headlines. This morning I have Professor Jared Onyari. Professor, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam, Douglas, and the rest of our viewers this morning.
Good morning, and good morning to you, Douglas Kirimi.
Good morning, Miriam Ogutu, and also to our crew at our headquarters, to Professor Jared Onyari, and also to our viewers across the world. Good morning.
All right, very well. So let's just get into it. A lot of things happened yesterday before we get to the week that was. And let's start with the Star newspaper. The headline there is DP Ruto MPs make U-turn over JP cash deductions. Tuju confirms party received all February contributions from Deputy President allies. Okay, now that is very interesting. And then the Standard newspaper, the main headline there, chaos, arrests and bribery in mini polls. And On the Daily Nation, the main headline there is Day of Shame, High Stakes by-elections in Matungu constituency in Kakamega, Kabuchai in Bungoma, Nakuru's London ward, and Kiamokama in Kisii bring out the worst in politicians and their supporters. 4 MPs arrested, Senator's bodyguard held for shooting a resident as police search for former cabinet minister over assault. Professor, start us off.
Miriam, here we are. At least, I'm happy some of these people listen to us. And I want them to listen to us very carefully, and keenly today. We did say that, Miriam, that political parties sponsor people to parliament. You sign a code of conduct on how you are going to behave, on what going to happen, on how you are going to support the party, on how you are going to contribute to the party if you become very successful. Miriam, you don't just come in the middle of your term, and then you say now you are moving on to another political party. Douglas did say here that when you do that, Miriam, you lose all the privileges and the party which sponsored you to parliament, and then you go and start promoting and supporting the party which you so wish or you desire. So the law is very clear. The Political Political Parties Act, Miriam, is very clear. And I'm happy on this, they have chosen to follow the law. And they should follow the law to the letter. But what I know, these members of parliament, Miriam, they have committed crimes which are enough for them to be expelled from the party. Which wing of the members of parliament were causing problems? Those who are Tanga members and are members of Jubilee. They have violated the code of conduct. That one itself, Miriam, they can be expelled from the party and they will go to any court, even in heaven and anywhere else. They will be told now your fate is sealed. That's what I have to say that. On Echesa, Miriam, this is a thug. This is a criminal. And I don't know. I believe that people can change, Miriam. I believe in forgiveness. But from him, he used to beat people and mug people around him. Yes, Miriam. You saw the meme which was caused, Miriam, and the case has not been prosecuted. And that's why sometimes, Miriam, I blame our court and our judiciary, Miriam. People commit crimes, you don't punish them. What do you think if he could have slapped that person and bad luck, and then the IBC official dies? So Miriam, I'm happy. We said yesterday the security apparatus in this country are looking for him, and we want to see him standing in court, and the case to be fast-tracked, Miriam, so that we can be able to nip the danger which is ahead of us. Miriam, with the other part of it, they have said that there was bribery. Bribery under IBC, Miriam, to influence voters is a crime. I've had an unfortunate event that Marara is saying that his 2 million was taken, Miriam. Why do you go to a polling station with 2 million? Money is supposed to be used to purchase goods, or money is supposed to be in the bank. Why had you work with 2 million, Miriam? That one, it is untested that now they were going to bribe voters. In Kiamokama, in Kisii County, Miriam, Silvanus Osoro was caught giving people money, Miriam. And thank God that God helped him and he had to run very fast, otherwise he could have been lynched. And I'm taking this opportunity to give him a warning that let him just go slow. He's a younger man. The channel ahead is too far, Miriam. But this kind of acts, Miriam, you will not go far. In summary, I will say this, Miriam. What happened today, what happened yesterday is a replica of what will happen in 2022. And that's why we are saying that in the BBI, did we get it right? And you can see, Miriam, if you run away from negotiating table, where issues are discussed, Miriam, you may not know the way to navigate. Miriam, you can see of all the political parties in this country, Miriam, which wing was causing problem? Those people who are anti-BBI. Why? They have not internalized the 9-point agenda of saying that let us not have divisive election, Miriam. And let me tell you, Miriam, the people of Kenya, why I'm happy with the people of Kenya, they don't cause chaos. The people who are causing chaos are these honorable members of parliament. Those one cannot be honorable members of parliament. Those are dishonorable members of parliament, and a big shame to the people of this country, Miriam. And that those are the people whom we are allowed to register and to represent us. Kenya, we are in trouble, Miriam. So what we need to do, the National Intelligence, Miriam, service of this country must be able to provide and give information on the Miriam people and be prosecuted. The National Cohesion Commission, Miriam, should work. Otherwise, what we saw 2007 is even going to be worse, Miriam, than what I saw yesterday. I cannot imagine that the leaders who people look into can cause chaos, can feed the public servant, Miriam. I submit.
Very well. Thank you so much, Douglas Kirimi. Slabs, tear gas arrests that marked yesterday's by-elections. Candidates and supporters crying foul there.
Thank you, Miriam. And also, we need to understand that we have said before that this is a replica, like Professor Jared Onyari has said, like I've said before, this is a replica of what is going to happen in 2022 when politicians don't prepare themselves for the realities that is going to hit them. You know, Miriam, we have a clique of politicians who keep shouting on social media and also national television, telling the people of Kenya how they are going to win elections and how things are going to turn for good for them. But at the end of the day, we have seen how William Ruto has been trashed by the ruling party Jubilee, and also William Ruto has been embarrassed in Kabuchai by Moses Wetangula and also in Matungu by Musalia Mudavadi. We need to also demystify the issue of political violence in these elections. There is no way Nandi Senator or any other senator like Kipchumba Murkomen or even Elgeyo Marakwet, or if they are comfort in Nairobi because they serve in Senate, and then come here, Miriam, and go to a random ward, supervise these elections as if there are no people there, no party agents there, and all that. So I'm calling out for political parties to invest in their agents and also their party members. Kabuchai, there should be a chairman of UDA so that we don't have people getting arrested and also going to bribe voters. What we saw yesterday with Cleophas Malala claiming that 2 million shillings has been snatched from him. We know that Kenya is not a banana republic where you can keep walking around with 2 million shillings, especially during an electioneering period. It shows you that this is what William Ruto believes in, voter bribery, whereas he has been thinking that he has God, he has the people, he has been shown where the people are, Miriam. And this is an exact replica of what is going to happen in 2022. So William Ruto should not be crying in 2022 when he is defeated completely. Because Miriam, we have seen that with amidst voter bribery claims, sending senators and MPs and a dozen of MCs to go and campaign in each ward and also the 2 constituencies, William Ruto lost terribly. It is a shame for him to keep shouting the name of God as if he has a monopoly of a God, but he has been defeated terribly, and this is a warning for him. In 2022, he'll be trashed very badly if he does not do his politics well, because the people that were caught with money yesterday, Miriam, belong to William Ruto. This is a political hypocrite, an hybrid political conman who should be shunned away by Kenyans and also people of goodwill. Because why would these politicians carry money around? Kipchumba Murkomen was found in London ward camping there as if he votes there. Miriam, we should give Kenya their sovereignty. The Constitution in Chapter 1 says that sovereignty and all power belong to the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya should be given their spaces, whether in Meru, whether in Kabuchai, whether in Matungu, whether in Ukambani, to vote for their own leaders without influence from outsiders, like Kipchumba Murkomen and also Samson Chalgei of Nandi. And also, Miriam, it was a shame for Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala to go to Matungu with that amount of money trying to bribe voters, and also David Iwere was also caught on camera bribing voters. It is a shame for us to be able to turn Kenya into a chaotic and a violent scene because of elections and voter bribery, Miriam. For those that were defeated yesterday, like William Ruto, they need to accept defeat and accept defeat with the grace. They need to go back to the drawing board. Whereas they are going to be defeated in 2022, they need to also handle their defeat very well and also closely, Miriam. Thank you. I submit.
Very well. Thank you so much. And in Matungu parliamentary elections, they're very interesting. The wife of the former member of parliament who passed on, MP Justice Murunga, his wife also ran as independent candidate, as well as his son also was running in the same elections as an independent candidate. Of course, they did not get to win. We're also joined by Dr. David Matanga this morning from the Political Command Center. Doctor, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam. Thank you very much for the show. I've been following your shows from very far. I'm very happy, pleased, and on this topic, I have a lot, but time will cut us short. And I'm not going to be, I now want to stand above and be counted. They separate men from the boys, and I'm going to do that. One, Miriam, redemption, 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 redemption. Less than that, don't talk to me about anything. Uhuru Kenyatta has told you, you can't hold this election the way they are. We had a sample. This is a sample. You see, you want to buy, you want to import some goods from China. They send you a sample of the goods. The by-elections yesterday, especially the one of Nakuru, Miriam, let me go to point by point. They brought a sample of what William Samoei Ruto will be. Take that point home. Like it or you don't like it, I am above it. I'll watch. That's how he's going to behave. That's how he's going to conduct his elections. That is how they are going to conduct the elections. So you tell me, if this is the type of life, I had a professor here, thank you very much, Prof. I have no good words for a honorable who becomes dishonorable and goes on excruciating on the same plate that made him to be a honorable. I'm an African. How do you excruciate on the plate that you want to use to eat tomorrow? What is the use of pulling out guns? Mr. Kapondi, Mr. Echesa. But Miriam, another second point I want to hammer home, which you have been telling people here and they don't listen to us. No. They don't listen. Plan B. Did you see Plan B coming? Did you see the Plan B arranging itself? Look at the Plan B arranging itself. Very nicely. The owner, the sponsor of this type of activities in Nakuru, in Jebukai, the owner, the sponsor, is just a head of mafia seated watching very far away. He's watching. People are fighting over his handouts. Look at those MPs in Nakuru. They all have to shout. They have to fight. The owner is the master. The master is none other than the deputy president himself. So if Kapondi arrives with pistols, with a militia, those are not the local policemen guarding Kapondi. Did you see the pictures? I think as I talk, your production team should bring the pictures of the local policeman. Does not look like those. Those are militias from Kapchorwa across. Yes, those don't look like men guarding the MP, but he came them. How many guns do they have? Why do you go with guns at the polling station? For goodness sake. You pull out guns, you cock pistols. A policeman would shoot you. And the violence could erupt. Because once you have cocked the gun, the use of a gun is very, 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 very dangerous. Once you hear the click entering the chamber, Miriam, just run away or hold up your hands because this guy will kill you. So when people go and cock their guns, that is dangerous. Another thing that came out, do you really have an electoral commission that is going to be slapped everywhere? Because they cannot even express themselves and stand on the ground on the things that they have. I watched the clip of the Electoral Commission in Kakamega. I think you saw the lady. She looked as if she was given those papers. A person, a civil servant, a well-educated, channeled woman would stand up and say, these are our papers, and I wanted police protection here.
Yes.
The woman was instead, you saw the way she was being harassed. People started even wanting to tear her clothes. This behavior is not worth it. The fifth point I want to make, the population of Kenya is cheering. You can continue cheering. You can continue cheering. But if you are here in 2007, 2008, it all started with cheers. We went on cheering like that. I was here. I saw it. I came. I found people cheering each other. Hey, we have beaten them today. Like we beat them up. Another point, Malala. I am not going to bend on one side. Stupid. How stupid are you people? How do you beat a woman, tear her cloth? What is wrong? Malala, younger man, what is wrong with you? You're a growing leader, a leader tomorrow. Clopas Malala, you're a leader tomorrow. What is killing you? You will have this leadership in Kakamega. You don't need to organize people, vigilantes, to come and harass people and beat up Gladys Wanga. A woman in Africa, however bad she is, you don't beat. You walk away. You don't fight a woman. Fighting a woman, to me, is a taboo. It is like, yes, it's a taboo. And I want to speak out. If you people don't want to speak out, sorry. I'm not about a truth barometer. Truth barometer here now. Beating Wanga because she said ODM, stupid Malala. You come and actually Malala, you try to meet men like us, heavy giants. Utaona. Utapigwa kabisa wewe. That Malala needs someone like Matanga to beat him up and teach him a lesson. You don't beat women like that in Kenya. And the people are cheering. You don't touch my daughter, and I watch you. Nowhere. That behavior must stop. It must stop.
What way?
A chaser. This is a gun trotter. Stupid. It's a gun trotter. Government laughs with this guy. This guy will massacre people. You slap people like that on TV. Me, even if you slap me, I go away. In fact, I go away, but when I come back, you better try to get organized. Because this is now going to be a fight. That's what we are. We Ugandans have that thing. I go away, but when I come back, we get organized. Ugandans don't talk too much. If they says this is bad, election is very bad, I've gone. Are you hearing me? I've gone. Tukutane huko mbele. Mutakutana kwa forest. That's what we are. Mutakutana kwa forest. Hata kama akona six men to fight you, atasema tutakutana forest until he gets victory. Lakini kupiga, to fight women, to slap officers who are doing work, that behavior must stop. That is why, Miriam, in my conclusion, the 7 points I've brought out, which I believe others people had been talking about. Mine have emphasized with practicalities. If we don't do redemption, and I want to repeat the words of redemption. I want to tell you the 9 points that BBI was made of. The 9 points that BBI was made of. If you don't do them, don't try an election in Kenya. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. And the story is on page 6 of the Daily Nation, and a part of it reads, Mr. Chesa was captured on a video beating up a man at Bulonga Primary School polling station. Kakamega County Police Commander Hassan Barua said the hunt for Mr. Chesa is on. Police officers raided Mr. Chesa's home in Shibale, but he was not there. IEBC Chairperson Wafula Chebukati condemned the assault and called for Mr. Chesa's arrest and prosecution. And the story continues. And we saw during the elections there yesterday, Professor, a senator of Kakamega, Malala, came out and they were saying there's a problem going on, bribery going on, ODM, I don't know, he's planning to do what and what. And he was really calling for the election to be halted there. And you wondered, why don't you just capture the evidence? And then there's what we call the due process of the law. Were they, by wanting to take the matters in his own hands, by wanting to stop the elections, because I think that is what also caused a bit of chaos there in Kakamega and some other parts there. How should the law deal with such people? Professor? Right, Douglas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Douglas.
Miriam, I'm also here.
Oh, I did not know Jevan. He joined in the middle of the show. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much for the opportunity and for having me on the show. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I must say is to condemn the violence and the bad behaviors that we experienced yesterday in London Ward, in Nakuru, and in Matungu, and in Kabuchai, and all other places that we are having these by-elections. That is bad thing, and I think the IBC that we have, I think the law is clear that they can take action with together with the law enforcers and the courts to ensure that the people who are culpable for this misbehavior, they will not run for any elective position in future, and they will have severely punished so that they deter others from committing such crimes. Also, Miriam is a wakening up call for our electoral commission. We need to have a commission that is quite up to the task, Miriam, because what we are seeing an IBC that is reluctant. You saw the IBC officials, the way they were behaving. They were tensed. It's like they didn't know why they were in this polling station. Therefore, we need to have well-trained political observers, trained returning officers, and IBC officials, so that we have people who can guarantee us credibility in our election. I think that is something that even the BBI is trying to address, so that in future, Miriam, we'll be able to have the credibility in election, and by doing that, we guarantee ourselves having leaders who are the real choice of the wananchi. Therefore, that to me is something that the IBC need to look into. But Miriam, what we are seeing, the people, especially this outfit called UDA, it has come out as an organization, a party that is full of chaotic mob people who are very chaotic and very bad, with very bad behaviors. What we are seeing yesterday, Nixon Koril, a lot of these members of parliament in UDA, and Miriam, UDA is a party that is formed by people who defect from other political parties, people who misbehave in other political parties like Aisha Jumo in ODM and others in Jubilee. They go around and they configure in that outfit, calling itself UDA. Therefore, in future, Miriam, we need to have political parties that have ideology. When you ask anyone what is the ideology of the UDA, it's a wheelbarrow. What does a wheelbarrow symbolize? Therefore, it symbolizes poverty and some means of not making this country great. Therefore, Miriam, we also need to have strong political party that can guarantee us a political stability and political excellence in terms of having good people getting the nomination slots, and that is one way of having great leadership in this country. Therefore, Miriam, as we head on to the BBI referendum, as we head on in 2022 general election, something must be done, Miriam. Something must be done to ensure that we have credibility, very viable elections in this country. That is my wish, because Miriam, if we go with this kind of people in elections, with this kind of electoral commission, Miriam, we are preparing this recipe for disaster. And if things are not worked out well, Miriam, we might find ourselves in a worse situation that we were in 2007. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And a couple of journalists also yesterday were hurt in those chaos in Nakuru that happened there from Kameme, media house, from K24, from Emo FM. A citizen journalist was also hurt there in the chaos that happened in Nakuru. And Koril's vehicle, one of the lawmakers who were trying to force their way into a polling station there in Nakuru, his vehicle was damaged. And following the chaos, Nakuru County IEBC Elections Manager Silas Rotich ordered Mr. Korir and other leaders allied to Deputy President out of the polling center. The leaders included Senator Susan Kihika of Nakuru, Onesimus Kipchumba Murkomen, and Elgeyo Marakwet, and Mr. Korir and Mr. Emura Dikir, counterpart Yohana Ngeno, attempted to resist the move and were tear gassed and forced out of the polling stations. Now, these are lawmakers who understand very well how the law works. That's what they do, senators and members of parliament there. And IEBC official who is manning the elections there is telling them, you know what, because of your presence here is causing a bit of some anxiety and chaos. So could you please leave the polling center? But they were refusing to leave the polling center. What does this say about the kind of leaders who not even, respect the law that they help in formulating? Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam. We need to also ask ourselves as a country. Before, in this country, we have had by-elections in this country. We have even have by-elections in Sabatia when in 1989 when Musalia Mudavadi succeeded his father. Everywhere in this country, it is only the style of William Ruto, the plan B of William Ruto, that he is trying to unveil, and also trying to show the government and also the security apparatus how he is capable of putting out a plan B. Why are we having these by-elections in this country being marred with a lot of political interference and also political in quote interference? We have a by-election, let's say, in a ward in Kiamukoma in Kisii County, but we find every scammer, every big thief, every big conman, and every big senator in this country is going to that particular area with a lot of money to interfere with the will of the people of Kiamukoma. The people of Kiamukoma know whatever they can be able to do and also elect their own leaders. Miriam, what was the former leader of majority doing in London Ward? These are people that don't understand the problems of these people and continue, Miriam, subverting the will of the people of Kenya to elect the leaders that they want. And this is is a part of the cabal that is led by William Ruto that keeps muting ways to keep destabilizing the country and also destabilizing the state itself, Miriam. When you send your people, very rogue, criminal people who have criminal records, and also people with not a good economic records because they have committed economic crimes against the people of Kenya. If they have not stolen public funds, these people, Miriam, at the end of the day, they have gone out and also continue stealing from the people of Kenya. At the end of the day, we need to understand as a people that these people, Miriam, continue showing contempt to the people of Kenya. And also, at the end of the day, we need to tell each other the truth, because, Miriam, what we are seeing happening across the wards and also the counties, it is part of the cabal that William Ruto wants to keep galvanizing in this country, and we need to shun it, and we need to shun it with utmost contempt that it deserves, Miriam, because our country is headed to the dogs if we are not serious. Thank you.
Okay, very well. And we see also in Bungoma, UD, the chaos there is a lot are largely blamed on UDA supporters there and the leaders that were present, and also in Kabuchai as well, and also the people who attacked the journalists in Nakuru are said to have been, according to the newspaper, UDA supporters, and we saw UDA supporters also, and leaders bringing chaos in London Road there. Should they go back to the drawing board? We are not saying other leaders from other parties, but we see a lot in all this chaos. They're largely mentioned, and of course, from the other side, maybe a few of them also did the same. Should they go back to the drawing board and see, this is not what we want as a country? Why the chaos? Have we not learned anything from the electoral violence that we've seen in the previous past, Doctor, that almost plunged this country into something else that, it's a road that we should be very careful and not to take. Have we learned anything from the past, Doctor?
Miriam, I think we have not. I think Kenyans, wherever they are, let them listen to me, whichever side you are. I'm telling you, the administration in Washington that is coming is an administration that wants the rule of law. Trump wanted business. Joe Biden wants the rule of law. And if you look at international scene, especially at institutions like ICC, ICJ, have you seen that Joe Biden has done everything, Miriam? He has done everything that Trump did. But there is one thing Joe Biden has not done. And there are some of these Kenyans who go on belittling me because I talk about ICC, this, that, and other institutions, all this man. I am telling you, and I'm telling you today, you people, and I'll repeat, I'm telling you today, the selection of Karim Khan should not bolster, should not make Ruto brag. Karim Khan is not Ruto's lawyer anymore. He's a prosecutor of International Criminal Court. The Americans have refused to lift a sanction of Fatou Bensouda ever entering the United States. What does that show to you? What does that show to you? Anybody who is a researcher should begin researching, should begin scratching the head. That this type of violence that you people are creating yourselves, whether Karim Khan is in power or whoever is, it doesn't matter. They will arrest you. They will take you. They are going to take you. The signs are seen. You know, one of the most stupid things that Ruto's supporters go on chanting in this country is now we have got the ICC chief prosecutor was our lawyer. You know, he has not yet taken the seat. He has not yet taken the seat. I wanted to bring in that dimension so that, Miriam, it guides us very well. Some people are complacent. They have become complacent. They want to do things because Karim was elected a prosecutor. Nothing will happen in the ICC. Karim, we can remove him anytime if we see that he is not following the instructions of the ICC. Let me tell you frankly today, they will remove him just like that. He will go and he could be caught on corruption and so many other things. So don't run around telling people that there is nothing you will do. You can now go and beat people. You know, some of these MPs are beating people in Nakuru and are saying, call ICC. Did you hear what Susan Kihika was saying? Javan, you heard that. Miriam, you heard that. Call this. Yes. We must take these people to ICC. Because stupidly, a woman like that who's used to stealing money stolen, who's used to using money which is stolen from the government. A woman who to go further than that, leave it. One day we shall open the Pandora box. But people ICC is not for Ruto. Because Karim Khan is the chief prosecutor. Stupid. If you are thinking like that, you are very stupid. And I say it with my words, very stupid. And we are not going to sit here and lie to people. Wacha tuambiane ukweli. Some of these things that are being done, people had feared the ICC, ndio medium. They feared the ICC so much that they were not doing anything. Now, when they ICC, our lawyer, is not your lawyer. Karim Khan is no longer your lawyer. Karim Khan is an international chief prosecutor. He might not even last long because there are so many petitions digging down into his past and everything. So he might not. And if you want to watch the trend where we are heading, the question you ask, have we learned any question? Have we learned anything out of this? Miriam, I went too far to Damascus, but I came back. We haven't. We're still the same. Still, both sides, look at the way they speak to each other, especially this gang of Tanga group. That one, a gang of handouts. You see, when you live on handouts, you must please the master. Mpako, give me handouts. They were in Nakuru hotels thriving on the money's money. The mafia who sponsors them is seated in his TV. The wife is massaging the legs in hot water in Sicily. You know, the man who sponsored this MP must be laughing. He said that one is doing very well. That one is doing very well. That one is doing very well. You know, he opens his mouth. He's doing very well. That's how he does it. And that's how Ruto is doing it. Hakuna ya kuficha. Tuambiane ukweli. Wewe unakuja, you have damaged the Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. You want Matanga to be happy? I'm not your what? I have not said I want to buy friendship with Uhuru. I did not buy friendship. And neither will I want to buy friendship. I was on this earth before Uhuru. Yes. I've eaten so many granaries in African culture. This is a Friday. Relax a bit. How many granaries have I eaten? Yes. And what I speak is wisdom. Redemption. If you don't do redemption, if we don't learn from the past, Miriam, if we don't learn from the past, the way some of us, I am a Ugandan. I came to Kenya. I found all Kenyans were quiet and Uhuru Kenyatta and the 5 Ocampo 6 were going to be slaughtered. I stood up. Don't we remember that? Why don't we remember that and keep quiet and stop making people be slaughtered again? Yes. 2008, 2009, I want Ruto to look in the mirror and see who was supporting him, apart from his wife and the mom. Another foreigner called Matanga. I'm here. I lost everything. My job in Sky News, which Ruto could never get in life, because that payment cannot go to people who are mafia. I lost everything. I came and stood here, opposed the ICC. You think ICC likes me? They detained me because I knew I was right. Now you are going back to the same thing today. You don't learn at all. People are purchasing urungus. People are purchasing pangas. People are purchasing arrows. Mr. President, hear this. It is not a lie. even organizing militia. Look at the militia, Mr. Kapondi. Kapondi has been to the Uganda cave, a cave there around the border so many times. What does he do there? The government should ask Mr. Kapondi, what do you go to Uganda to do? I don't want to, you people, you don't know what is coming. What does he do? You see, Kapondi yesterday showed you the true colors of what they are going to do. Once the results are announced, they will come with the militia and start slaughtering people. You will see it, Miriam. We have not learned. My dear sister, we have not learned a lesson, not a damn. We have not. And if there is anybody who is very sorry and very upset, is me. And I don't want to leave your program without telling you this. It is me. I thought the redemption would hold in Kenya. I'm really very saddened and I can cry tears. I thought even in Uganda where I have suffered, where I've left, where man has urinated on me for 36 years, and my family, I thought, and let me tell you this from the bottom of my heart, I went back and brought a redemption. I went back, silenced the guns of Konyi. Konyi is no longer killing any Ugandan. Poverty can kill Ugandans. But Konyi is not killing Ugandans. I spoke like the way I'm speaking now. But here I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed. When you see men beating women, tearing women's petticoats, I'm embarrassed. When you see guys going to slap a police officer, going to even push high-ranking officers being pushed, the state is degenerating into a chaotic state, a slippery tragedy, a tragedy. I am embarrassed. A man who stood long time ago with you, a man who fought the ICC, a man who has fought any other battle. I've never got a medal from Kenya awarded to me, neither a title. I will go home the way I came. But I cannot. If Kenya is peaceful, Uganda and the rest of Africa will be peaceful. But these elections, we must condemn. We must stand and condemn. There is no more sweet words. Whether you are my friend or not my friend, sorry, what will you do? Sorry, I will tell you off. If President Uhuru Kenyatta is not telling people off, yes, we, the citizens and the media, start telling people off. Yes, 2 million shillings. Carrying it for what? There's a bank. It means you're a senator, you have no responsibility. You tell people to go and bank money, then you are carrying money like a drug dealer at a polling station, Mr. Malala. What is it for? Because you hate Raila Odinga. That's all. What is the hatred of Malala? Raila Odinga. That's all. He hates Raila Odinga. So you carry 2 million shillings and then you go on beating everybody in Kagame because you hate Raila Odinga and Oparanya and the rest. What for? What for? What for? You see? What for? It is not worth it. So for me, I want to plead with my people of Africa, the people of Kenya, Miriam, very soon we are Pan-African station. Part of what has plunged the countries like Cameroon to where they are is the type of politics we have. The leader, Paul Biya, kills them. Back in the opposition themselves, they kill each other. Have you seen the way the faction is in Amazonia are hammering each other? They are now killing each other also. The main man is killing them. The Amazonians themselves, faction, the fighting groups are killing each other. Have you seen me talk of Cameroon of late? Did you hear me? My lips? You know why? I'm annoyed. Because I know some of the key players. They are killing each other themselves, the rebel to rebel. Factions. Factions have, look at Jubilee. It is like the Jubilee. These guys have left Jubilee, UDA. They have formed an organization headed by a drug baron called Mudhama, who sells drugs. He was caught in a house in knows. Was good that Muhoro, the DCI director, just played about like that. Mudhama would be in a committee. That is heading a party. Which party? That party was formed only to annoy Uhuru Kenyatta, to injure the legacy of Uhuru Kenyatta. That's all. And when you look at the vote, 400 votes in a ward, why would you, for example, go to Nakuru, London ward? Is it because the ward had a word London, which they came to borrow many t-shirts? In fact, I have 300 t-shirts, which I started wearing when I entered London. I would have borrowed them, lent them to them, Miriam, so that each of them can wear a London t-shirt. I went to London 36 years ago. I would have given them a t-shirt each. Is it because the word was London? No. The word is a central party to shame Jubilee Party. Okay, fine. You have left the Jubilee Party. You have formed the UDA. Go! Tender! If you want mediation, come to men like us. Don't come to wrong people. Don't go to church. Because the church today, Miriam, my sister, Miriam, the church is the chaotic movement for chaos. The church has been, look at the clergy in Muranga, in Gatanga. Look at what the clergy were doing. Look at their teeth. Look at the teeth of the clergy. When they had people ramming Uhuru Kenyatta, they were laughing. Headed by the big laughter man. When Uhuru is being hammered, he opens his teeth so that we see he's happy. And the point about these guys of Tanga, Medium, give me another 2 minutes. I've found time to hammer them. They go on insulting Uhuru Kenyatta. But when I just put one word on, I think Kirimi will tell you. One, they are crying babies. One man like me here, I've finished them, they fall to pieces. They insult you instead. Insult Matanga. Or go back to Uganda. So what? Did you bring me here? I can go. I can go. Do I sleep on the tree? Will I sleep on a tree? I can go. Hey, I'll not sleep on a tree. But I'm making the world better. Yes. Yes. I'm talking because I want the world better. Not because you can tag me as a Ugandan. So what? I'm not practicing activities against Museveni from Kenya. Stupid. I can't do it. I forgot about that in 2008 when I shook hands with Museveni. And those peddling that type of stupidity. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, Kabisa. From London, from anywhere I will be even more liveful. But you haven't seen me the other side. Don't peddle lies. I have no problem with anybody, Miriam. I want to, because the people dealing with Museveni are the ones that are choosing me of being a Ugandan. I don't deal with President Museveni. Neither have I ever. I only shook hands and brought peace. I'm a commander. He's a commander. He knows how to cock a gun. I know how to cock a gun. I left. Period. Do what you want. I left and I can go anywhere. Walai. Walai. Don't depend on anything, this, that. Usually when you corner them, they say, oh, you're a Ugandan. So a Ugandan should not speak. But when refugees come, who is going to suffer? Who is going to suffer? When refugees arrive, who is suffering? The Uganda, I have 27. Last week, one of the 27, I have now 26 families. The man called Karanja died home in my village. He had a shop which gives my mother M-Pesa. Is from the violence of the Rift Valley. That is why I am against violence. Is there a testimony? He bought land, he was given a plot, he's okay, he has produced children. Since 2007, he collapsed. And his wife has taken over business. There are 27 families in Uganda, in my place. So when I come here to talk about what is happening here, someone tells you crap. And yet that same person, Miriam, is the one getting money from the same government across to fight this government. Wacha niambie wa kweli. Nyenye jaribu mimi. It will release data which will burn people's eyes. Mujaribu. Hey, jaribu. I will bring it step by step. I have never been a party to anything. I am a peacemaker. A man who is fanning violence. Let Kenyans shun him. We have not learned anything from the past. Ruto thinks that now Karim Khan is the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court. He can allow his brigade to go and do what they do. My dear friend, my dear younger man, I'll speak like you are tall, because I'm 65. Will you get there? You might, yes. You might pass me. Let me talk. I'm not, because I don't have gray hair, I'm not your son. I'm not your son. Haki ya Mungu. Mungu ananiingia kwa kichwa leo. I'm not. This guy thinks I'm his son, calls me, but that matter. I am not. I believe in decorum. The activities that you have done against Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta legacy pain me as a friend. That's all. I'm pained. I don't benefit much from the government of the Republic of Kenya, apart from space and the breathing air. But I've been pained by the activities of the deputy president. And everybody will talk about that. Peace is brought, he doesn't want peace. Raila shakes hands, he doesn't want Raila to shake hands. What? Now the test in there. The Luya people have said, bring your money, we shall eat it. I tell you, if I were Mr. Ruto, I would sit down and strategize. There is no vote there. You will remain very poor. You give out that money. Since the money is free money, maybe you stole it and kept it somewhere, and the people have not arrested you. Because Kenyatta is a very good man. You can go ahead and do what you are doing. But don't add me into stupidity. Oh, Matanga, did you baptize me? Did you baptize me with that? Did you cut a cow? Did you cut a cow? If I had not stood up into, where would you be talking? Where, Miriam? I'm pained. I'm pained. Moi would have given me a building. It would be named me. Are there no people whom Moi gave buildings? They are still in town. What did I? But I stood firm. You think Maina Kiai would love me? Makao Mutua would love me? Gladiolo Otieno, Harun Dube, Jonjo Moe. Look at them. You think they love me? They wrote reports, intelligence reports to European governments for me to be impounded. You think they loved me? Because of Kenya. But I stood firm. I was vindicated. Ocampo was found a liar. Ocampo was found a gambler. He gambled money. The ICC itself came and admitted these cases were crooked by independent observers. I won. But we haven't learned a minute at all. We have not learned. And Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Kenya, wherever you are watching this, if you get this clip, please, this election, if there is no change in the way, the behavior people are going to behave, at least pass the laws that will govern the modus operandi of an electoral system. You can't beat an electoral commissioner and you expect an election to be very good. You can't beat women. You can't kill people. You can't stab people. And you expect there to be an election. Let's learn forgiveness. Let's reconcile. Let's truth tell. Let's account for every action that we do. That is the basis of BBI. BBI should not be a stepping stone, a political process. It is a healing process to heal this nation from all the disasters that have happened every 5 years. Children, younger men and women like you grew up hearing exactly there was a skirmish, there were killings of this in 92 Kikuyus, there was this. You grew up knowing those things. Let's not, now you are in them. Do we live, does Uhuru Kenyatta live this country divided like this? The answer is no. That's why the president is trying his level best to make sure that Miriam, he unites the country. Look at that. That is a returning officer gazetted by the government. And she's being beaten. And the crowds are watching because she's a woman. Surely, that's it, Miriam. It is bad. So, in nutshell, we have not learned. I think if there is qualifying the degree of learning, Miriam, we have only added bad manners. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. David Matanga. And also, Javan, before we leave the topic and move on to something else, I want us to talk about the journalists that were attacked yesterday. Mr. Evans Asiba of Citizen TV, Ms. Regina Wankoyo of Kameme, Mr. Gigodho Mwangi of K24, Mr. Elijah Cherutich of MO FM that were attacked by the United Democratic Alliance Party supporters there. The media always should be out of bounds. Where are we going with such behaviors, and should we be worried?
Miriam, we should be worried because when people are sponsored to attack the media, to attack journalists, what they are portraying and what the message they are sending out, they are doing deeds that are not good. There's something that they want to hide from the public. That is why they're attacking the media. That is why they were chasing away the media from the occasions. Therefore, Miriam, media should be given. And the media, Miriam, is a mirror of the society. Media is what Kenyans rely on for dissemination of information across the country. Therefore, Miriam, we should respect the media should be respected, because we, the media, we are the people who sets the agenda in the society. We are the people who gives information, the kind of information that we have, like what Echeza was doing, Cleophas Malala, they all came to us through a medium of through media. Therefore, at the end of the day, Miriam, the media should be respected, and they should be given their space to exercise their duties, because they are there as a watchdog of the society. They are there as an eye of the public, because Miriam, where we cannot reach Miriam, that is where journalists go, so that they can be our representative. They are the representative, Miriam. And I want to urge Kenyans, wherever you see journalists, and not these quacks and amateurs, the real journalists who are registered by Media Council of Kenya and who have who have been given the license to perform their duties. Respect them, because they are there to represent you as a Wanjiku. They are there to represent you as a Kenyan, because Miriam, they give us information that some want hidden. The corruption cases that we have in this country, some of them are revealed, and we get to know them through the media. Therefore, media and journalists, their space in the society must be respected, and I condemn with all possible names and the terms of the events that transpired yesterday in London Award. Therefore, Miriam, in a conclusion, Miriam, we need to respect everybody, especially when they are carrying their duties. And Miriam, we need also to ensure that in this country we respect each other, and that is the only way we will guarantee ourselves a prosperous nation. But what have come out clearly, Miriam, the people who support the UDA, these are chaotic mob. These are people who have ganged up in a mob group that is not that is determined to cause chaos in this country. Thank you.
All right, very well. And that photo of course, Langata MP Nixon Korir being tear gassed. I don't know whether his children or people that love him see that how he's making the headlines, not in the best light possible. I don't know. Maybe that will make them rethink, being involved in some of these things in the future. Him and of course the rest of our politicians. Now let's turn our attention to the Star newspaper. DP Ruto MPs make U-turn over JP. That is Jubilee Party cash deductions. Tuju confirms party received all February contributions from Deputy President allies. Let me just read a bit of it. Now, tough talking, Deputy President William Ruto allied MPs quietly receded their decision to stop their monthly contributions to Jubilee Party. The Star has established the move was triggered by fears that President Uhuru Kenyatta could move to crack the whip, expel the MPs and throw them into a difficult legal battle to save their seats months to a general election. Uhuru has been uncompromisingly lately. Douglas, I'll start with you. Douglas.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Yes, Miriam, at the end of the day, we need to understand that these people who keep threatening to keep William Ruto party UDA funded are not doing the right thing. I've said before that this is a blatant break of the law. They are breaking the law, and the rule of law is the rule of law. Because Miriam, we need to be very categorical when we are dealing with these people. They know they cannot be able to handle the consequences of dealing with uncompromising. Actually, that is what the Star has written today. They have said uncompromising Uhuru Kenyatta, because Uhuru Kenyatta is a strong leader who is going to act and also...
Douglas, where you are, I don't know if you're able to find a better location, because it's affecting the quality of our broadcast. The noise behind there and a bit of not very organized chaos there. I don't know if you're able to do something about it, and maybe I'll come back to you, please, if you don't mind. Thank you. I think I'll go to a doctor. We've seen, after they met a couple of weeks ago at Deputy President official residence, the MPs allied to him. They came and said, you know what, we are going to, channel our money that we pay to Jubilee Party every month to go to Kazi ni Kazi. I think that's what they called it. And now that is not what has happened. So what is really happening here? And are we likely to see them,
Miriam,
go fully to UDA?
Again. You see, there is one thing. The biggest problem with all our brothers who have run away from the main Jubilee and are gone to the trading company called UDA is that they don't know when it's left or right. If you want to withdraw the money, tomorrow you will need an endorsement from the leader of the party. If Kenyatta today decided to count his numbers in parliament and whipped all of you, you get the point. The whipped, yes, he can whip. You can decide politically to say, okay, fine. You went to parliament on Jubilee party. Now you have ashamed the party. Fine. You are whipped. But you remain in parliament, and the parliament, as long as the parliament has 2/3 and it forms a quorum, the business will go on as usual. But the government will not surrender money until you finish all your cases in the Arbitration Committee, Political Parties Act. You know, these guys are joking. They are in Jubilee. They are wearing both Jubilee and the yellow. They have broken an agreement. They have killed the whole sense of togetherness. They have destroyed this country. They have made this country have a problem. There you are. They talk too much. Kindiki, I talked to Senator Kindiki of Tharaka Nithi. He's the only sensible guy who turned away from them. Isn't it, Karanja? Kindiki said enough is enough. Because when this case of ICC started, it was Matanga and Kindiki. And I want to play, if I play that clip, you'll see it was us too being interviewed as senior lawyers over this case. And we stood firm and said this thing was wrong. Kindiki has realized and he's not with them. But the rest of these guys, they say they don't want to do this. Tomorrow they are going to do this. Look at the embarrassment they have got. Miriam, the embarrassment they carry from Nakuru. If I were them, the embarrassment they carry from Kabuchai with Tangula's tough calf. If I were them, I would not be talking. The money they spend in Kabuchai, the money Ruto poured in Kabuchai, I don't know. Ruto is just being, he doesn't know. Maybe he has a lot of money anyway. Those guys ate the money. The voters decided. Why were they fighting so hard to create a commotion in Nakuru ward, a small ward? But next to the smaller ward, to the same ward, there was a Jubilee MCA, a Jubilee one. That shows to you that even the votes that this man won are very few, 300 votes. That means that constituency, that Nakuru, even if Ruto was to stand for president, that Rift Valley, atagawana na Mutu. Ata Mutu andachukua 3/4 or half. So a man from outside, if you are doing, Miriam, if you are doing political mapping and the patterns of voting, a man from outside who has collected from his home, who has collected all his people from his home, he comes to take only half of your Rift Valley. Ruto, you are nowhere. You will not get the presidency. I'm telling you. That one, mark my words. If you know political science, these people advising the deputy president, let them go to school again. You need only one man, Raila, from there. And he mobilizes Migori, Kisumu, Nyanza, wapi, kila anakuja na hiyo vote kama inasema Raila. Raila anakuja. Watu anakuja Nairobi hapa atakura. Wewe, you are nowhere. You know the problem, we are not telling Ruto the truth so that he saves his money. He's nowhere. And in this country will tell you, even this Somali from up here, the Somalis from up here are looking for somebody who can help them. You see, you only need to collect half of the Somali vote. Add on what Raila has, and the Raila is home and dry. You only need to take half of Mombasa, because the home turf of Raila will vote with its legs, with its feet, with its head, with everything. The whole body will come to vote, and he'll garner his vote. In that Western, I'm honest. In that Western, Raila is popular. He hasn't gone in there. He still has people who believe they don't want the tactics of Ruto's type of jambazi politics. You know? Politics ya majambazi. You see, when a jambazi comes to beat you, he doesn't know whether you are a pregnant woman or you will suffer from kidney problem. Anakupiga. That's the type of politics they took in Nakuru. And the police had to come in. If you touch the police, they will touch you. Kuria was saying, buy more tear gas. Today, he receives the tear gas.
Right.
Doesn't Kuria receive the tear gas? So in a nutshell, Raila is not a man you can rule out and belittle. Look at the vote. Let's say, okay, look at the vote in Matungu. 10,000 something votes to 11,000 votes. He narrowly missed by 4,000. But he takes those who love Raila in Matungu. If all of them voted, he would have 10,000 votes. One constituency. Take the whole of Western. How many people? So let people calculate very seriously. Where this is? Mujipange.
All right.
Yes, Raila has, for me, look, as an observer, if I were a Kenyan, a true one, I would just give Raila a vote. Without even looking, telling my wife, where should we vote? No, straight. Go and give it. Let him have these 5 years, and another younger man comes up to take. He has suffered for it. I am being honest. So those who think I should keep quiet, I'm sorry. That is my line. I used to be his critic. I accept. But things have moved on where you need more friends than an enemy who eats the government from within. Anakula indani anamaliza. So for me, the U-turn will be very many U-turns. In fact, they are going to turn. Don't be shocked that some of them. Mr. Ruto was saying he doesn't care about SPOs, SOPs. You remember when he criticized Mutahe Kagwe about the handling of COVID-19? Miriam, last week, I was not there this week, most of the shows. COVID-19 turned out to be Ruto's front people were the ones involved. You saw Koistane, the sister, the other one. 4 of them I know. And that's how he plays politics. That's how he has played politics. That is it. The U-turns will be there. Very many. And don't worry about them. They are bound to be there. And I stand by my words. A man who will sweep from his house with all the votes will come and eat half of Rift Valley, eat the 3/4 of Mount Kenya. When they see the wave turning, they will vote. And then they will give the man the presidency. Put your eyes there. And the handshake is hallelujah. BBI, hallelujah. Handshake, hallelujah. These priests who are eating, these are Hallelujah. Go to hell. You will see. They will win. People have not gone to the trail yet, Miriam. People have not gone to the trail yet. They have not gone to campaigning yet. I submit.
All right, very well. Thank you so much. So in case you're wondering what this U-turn is all about, a tough talking MPs allied to Deputy President William Ruto quietly have rescinded their decision to stop their monthly contributions to Jubilee Party. The Star has established the stories on page 6 there of the Star newspaper, and down there it continues to say that on Tuesday, National Assembly Clerk Michael Sialai told the Star that a number of MPs wrote a second letter to his office rescinding their earlier decision to cut donations to Jubilee Party. Chevan Karanja, what is going on?
Thank you, Miriam, for that question. One is to agree that the people who are calling themselves UDA, they are very vibrant in social media. But when they are called into action to walk the talk, Miriam, these people, they sublime into thin air. And that is why, Miriam, you see, now they want to continue giving their monthly contribution to Jubilee Party. Because, Miriam, these people, they were trying to have this UDA as a party to blackmail the ruling Jubilee government. They were forming this UDA to show they can do something, Miriam. This is when, Miriam, you know, when you have gone to a war and you are almost defeated, you come up with slogans and something to show that you have lost, yes, but you have tried to do something. Therefore, that is exactly what this UDA was, to show. It was a show of party to show that, yes, if you try to mess with us in Jubilee, we can form our party. And Miriam, this UDA party, as I have said, is a party of people who defect, people who misbehave in other parties. They come around and they call themselves the UDA party. Therefore, what we are seeing leaders, especially in the UDA party, people who have no principles, political principles, they don't have. The people who they don't stand for any ground. And these people who, if they are called for action, Miriam, they will disappear. That is why, Miriam, today, they say this in the morning. And I have said, Miriam, the people in the UDA and the Deputy President, William Ruto, these are people who pleases the mass. They want to move the crowds. That is why they were giving a press statement saying that they will, in 4 months, Miriam, I remember they said in 4 months, they will all resign from Jubilee Party and they will seek new mandate from the people of their respective constituency using the UDA party, Miriam. From that day, nobody have ever touched on that issue. They said that half of their monthly contribution will go to the UDA party. They said that so that the media can cover it and the people around the country can see they can give some words. But in the doing, Miriam, they are not doing the same. They are hiding. They want to remain in Jubilee because they have realized, Miriam, that this UDA is just a fallacy, is a bubble, Miriam. This UDA is a bubble and it will burst at the fullness of time. Therefore, they are seeing the best option now is to seek for mediation, is to seek for another route to come back to the ruling party, Jubilee, because they have observed that Jubilee remains the big party in this country. Jubilee remains a party with the structures, and they're the one who misbehaved. And they thought, Miriam, maybe by going out of Jubilee party will fail. Jubilee party will not be vibrant as it was. But they have realized after they stepped out, Jubilee party is becoming more relevant. New political party wants to form alliance with the Jubilee. We have seen KANU, we have seen Wiper, we have seen other party willing to join hands with the ruling Jubilee administration. Therefore, they have realized that they were chasing weed and it's time to come back home. And Miriam, when they do that, Miriam, they must realize they must come and behave because now the structures on the party, you see, Miriam, the people, the leadership, the National Executive Committee, the members of Jubilee Party, the top leadership, these are people who are aligned with Jubilee government agenda. Therefore, if they want Miriam to come back, because I'm seeing them in social media, they have changed the tone. When you look at them, Miriam, the kind of language, the figurative and the innuendos that they are giving in social media, these are people who are desperate and they want to come back to Jubilee Party, especially those members from Mount Kenya region. They must realize and they must come change the people and they must behave. We take this country to the next level and we make it great, Miriam. And one thing, all political parties, they must ensure that disciplinary actions must be taken without relent to people who misbehave in their party. People who don't abide to the party constitution must be shown the door, must be disciplined so that they behave. And in future, Miriam, we will have a strong political parties. Thank you.
All right. But also very interesting, in a change of strategy, the MPs are also donating to a welfare group dubbed Kazi ni Kazi, said to be affiliated to Ruto's Wheelbarrow Party, the United Democratic Alliance. So they're donating their monthly contribution to Jubilee Party, and also they want to support that kitty of Kazi ni Kazi affiliated with the UDA party there now. However, speaking to the Star, Soy MP Caleb Kositany and his Belgood counterpart Nelson Koech denied rewriting to the Speaker, insisting that their direction to withhold their subscription stands. Kositany and Koech are among those who last month wrote to the clerk to reduce their Jubilee subscription. I don't know about other members who have written back, but I know that is effective with a March salary, Kositany said on the phone. We see a bit of division there in UDA already before they even fully fledged, UDA membership there. Should Ruto be worried there, Douglas?
Thank you, Miriam. I hope, and I'm very sorry for the background noises that were.
It's much better now.
Before.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Yes,
it's much better now.
Thank you, Miriam. And also, we need to understand that these political parties, even after breaking the law, they went ahead and also started promoting activities of other parties that is not Jubilee Party, and also that were not sanctioned by their party leader. And this is also breaking the law. So, Miriam, the rule of law is rule of law, and the rule of law cannot be substantiated with excuses or any other innuendos. Again, we need to also analyze and see why have they changed their heart. These MPs know very well, Miriam, especially even engaging with the last night's election in Kabuchai and also Matungu. These members of parliament, most of them have also known that they will be first-time MPs, and also getting back to their electorates and tell us we've been chased away from Jubilee Party, help us get back to parliament through UDA will be a huge task, Miriam. Remember, the president and also the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and also others are not sleeping. They are also political leaders who want to show crowd and also power. Remember, Miriam, yesterday the bubble about the ground and also the people that we were told before are controlling the ground and everything. Everything yesterday crashed, Miriam, and also we saw William Ruto as a very lonely leader winning one electoral ward when we were told they are going to win everything and sweep, because we are told this UDA wave is across the nation. And these MPs, Miriam, when you analyze very well, they cannot go back to the electorates and tell them send us to parliament, and they know very well some of them can be sent home. So they would rather call their tails around Uhuru Kenyatta and his Jubilee Party. Remember, this party have their party leaders. Uhuru Kenyatta is the party leader of Jubilee Party, and they cannot go anywhere. And they have known now that following William Ruto is a bubble, Miriam, because even when they engage with the BBI wave, Miriam, it is only William Ruto's backyard that has rejected BBI. Nobody wants this kind of isolationist politics, even if you love someone to death, Miriam. In politics, it's about your interest and it's not about a church fellowship, like I always say, or even a grouping of people. In politics, you need to understand that at the end of the day, these people are going to move forward and also continue staying in Jubilee Party. They will say all manner of things why they are in Jubilee Party, but they are going to stay in Jubilee Party because there is nowhere they can go. When they go to UDA today and the elections are called before elections are there, they are going to be sent home. In 2022, there is no guarantee they are coming back. So they would rather stay in Jubilee Party, Miriam. What I'm trying to say is they are staying in Jubilee Party to their affairs with the voters so that they can at least see if they can be elected in the next dispensation, Miriam. But as of these remaining 18 months, no one wants to subject himself into an electioneering period when they know very well they are very broke and they have no money to campaign for 2 elections now and 2022, Miriam. Remember now, William Ruto has seen the true colors of the people that he has been funding, and he has seen now that these people can no longer fund their own elections, and William Ruto and these people are exposed in Jubilee Party numbers. He cannot be able to fund all of them and fund his presidential ambitions. So it is a change of tact because, Miriam, it is a politics of convenience they are playing here, and also they have known that they cannot survive on their own without Uhuru Kenyatta and Jubilee Party. Thank you, Miriam, I submit.
All right, very well. A change of tact there, as you said. So before we move into looking at what stood for us for the week of the news we've been covering, there's a story here that has caught my attention on the back page of the Daily Nation that I think is important. It's something we've been looking at. So let's just look at it very briefly before we move on. Uhuru signals KDF could remain in Somalia for long. Kenyan soldiers could remain in Somalia for a much longer period than anticipated. President Uhuru Kenyatta said Kenya would seek the extension of the African Union mission in Somalia mandate, which is to expire this year. In an address to diplomats accredited to Kenya yesterday, the president said the prevailing situation in Somalia, where an election has delayed and Al-Shabaab terrorists have increased attacks, does not allow the withdrawal of the continental force. He addressed the ambassadors on a series of issues, but the 10 days that the AMISOM still has before beginning to leave the Horn of Africa, unless the UN Security Council extends its mandate, was the highlight. Doctor, you will be the right person to talk to us about this. President Uhuru Kenyatta strongly feels that Somalia is not ready to be left by itself yet.
I agree with His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. It is not even near. Near is a very complicated word. It means, it is ready. It has never been ready. This place is in chaos. If you withdraw anybody now from that place, we shall have these guys here in this capital. Every night we shall sleep, they will sleep here. So the problem here of withdraw, remove that word. Extension and occupation. And there is one word I want to tell you frankly. And I want people listening to me. I disagree with President Museveni. And this one, I want Kirimi Douglas to listen. I do disagree with President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni on a number of issues. But there is one issue outstanding. Of course, there are several. Some other things that he has done that you can see. This can be good if it went that direction. The only problem is sticking to power and not leaving it to grow. The Nyerere doctrine of mine, of his and mine, we all grew in Nyerere area. We should have that doctrine. And that watcher, kama watoto wanakuja, let the younger men take, and you listen from behind the scenes. Look at the way I enjoy this show. I enjoy this show because you, the younger generation, are there. And you are talking on my behalf. And I'm happy. I'm very pleased. I was in a place a few days ago when they saw Medium Bubbly and all of you on. I was very impressed. Someone was actually glued there, not on the big TV. This is he. That's the guy. The guy in an airport was pointing a finger at me. Said, that's the guy. You see, what? That is the life for Somalia today. To grow, we must remove Farmajo. Mambo ya Security Council, do what? Please, Security Council, give us a break. You cannot have a bad leader leading a country in a fractured way. This country is fractured. Terrorists have joined the group. Have you ever seen a country where terrorists join the ruling party? They are also inside. They make a decision. You plan intelligence, they steal it. And they take to their men. The men come and hit us. So you tell me, I am glad President Uhuru Kenyatta made that statement. I speak on behalf of Pan-African Forum. And the Pan-African Forum, UK Limited, is an independent organization. We don't work for the government of Kenya or Somalia. We speak on the level of Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, on matters of Africa. We have written very many articles in journals regarding Africa. You can check us. We support fully an extension of AMISOM, even not only AMISOM, a bigger force. The point that I was making, I disagree with Museveni, but one thing he has done very well is Somalia. By sending over 15,000 troops in Somalia. Uganda has the biggest contingent in Somalia. The only problem that we have is that big contingent is in Mogadishu, which apparently is the center and the focus of all these blasts. I wish we extended and went deep into the countryside to liberate as many places as possible. But what has happened now in Mogadishu is the capture of state power using the advice that comes from the person who has the biggest army in Mogadishu. And that big army in Mogadishu is Sector 1 is controlled by the person you know. So the president did very well, send the army in Somalia, but unfortunately, Somalia and Mohammed Farmajo, they are still Americans. He's an American citizen. Now you can't have an American citizen who has no loyalty to his nation. He has, if you are to stabilize Somalia, change it. 2, my final point on this. Miriam, it is high time the Kenyan government also looked at its position as regards the conflicts in the region. 1, to allow the ICC, the ICJ to continue judgment, sentiments about the Indian Ocean blocks. The case which might become the Waterloo of both nations. The case which could be stopped under Chapter 7 of the United Nations Security Council. I'm pleading to my Kenyan people. Many of you have hated me for this. But listen to me. Those in administration, I pleaded this 7 years ago, 8 years ago, before Gaddafi went down. I pleaded to the world, Mediterranean Sea will be a place of dead bodies. Today, my letter is there. I don't want to tell the production team to bring it on the screen, but for the reason for Mr. Kirimi and others, bring it on the screen. Records don't kill, but Hitler kills. Hitler killed, but records don't kill. The records remind you. 7 years ago, I pleaded with the world not to impose resolution number 1970 of the United Nations Security Council on Libya. The world did not listen. Today, look at what is in Libya. Today, I'm pleading to the world that don't allow the International Court of Justice to engage itself in a dispute between Somalia maritime and Kenya maritime border dispute. Let Kenya and Somalia, we withdraw this whole matter, come back on table in Addis Ababa, sit down and see how they can share whatever it is there. If you don't listen to my advice, if I'm not still on earth, there will be a very bitter war. And I repeat, if any judgment is made on the case of the ICJ maritime border dispute, there will be a bitter war that will turn the Indian Ocean into a Red Sea. And the people in Kenya, those who are in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, listen to me. Those who want to listen to me in the security. In Somalia, equally. You want to listen to me, my brothers? Listen to me. Withdraw this case. Come back home. Sit down and a mediator. And mediate how you can share those proceeds. Less than that, let's prepare for a war. And then to the European countries that are watching and they are on the Security Council, starting from Britain, please, you might not trade with the Far East. Okay? Okay? Because Al-Shabaab has defeated, Miriam, the reason is this. Al-Shabaab has defeated us to conquer. We have weakened them, but we have not conquered them. Now, if you mix the border conflict, of course, Al-Shabaab will buy to go on the side of the Somalia. The ships will be hijacked in the Indian Ocean. They will be blown up. This is all. It is not a fiction film. It's not a film from California. It's a reality from Nairobi and from London, where I am. I'm telling you from the political command center. It's a reality. And it's going to happen. Somalia has been tightening and equipping its army, its air force, with the latest planes. Once the judges say the territory belongs to either Kenya or Tanzania or Somalia, the war will erupt. So why can't the Security Council today avert this war by under Chapter 7, Article 39, 40 of the United Nations Security Council and the United Nations Charter? It is very clear there. Those islands, those blocks, which I see Somalia selling some in the Lamu Basin, it has already put them on the stock exchange. That will, one of the countries will occupy them and the war will erupt. So the best is to pull out the judge went, that one we removed. Me, I am on the channel. My letter has arrived. The SG, I always call the Secretary General's office. I have my letter there. They will reply me. I will show you the public like this. I might be a lone ranger, but my results will be very interesting. There will be many, many people thinking like that. Let this case begin, and then you will see the tension. Depending on where it is going to go. If it goes to Kenya, of course, Kenyans will be very happy. But Somalis will not be happy. If it goes to Somalia, Kenyans will not be happy. But Somalia will be happy. So why do you want to bring a judgment in the middle? It will heighten the conflict. That's my submission.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And AMISOM has been at the forefront of supporting Somalia's transition and stabilization efforts. The mission could continue playing this pivotal role beyond 2021. That is what President Uhuru Kenyatta said, considering the prevailing security situation in Somalia. Kenya and other troop-contributing countries call for the extension of the AMISOM mandate. Now, last week, the United Nations Security Council, to which Kenya is a non-permanent member, Because in Kenya, they are starting to use its role and its position there very effectively. Added 2 more weeks to the expiry of the AMISOM mandate so as to buy time as the country's leaders endeavor to find a solution to the electoral impasse. The council said having AMISOM soldiers in Somalia beyond March 14th would depend on the country's political stability. And the withdrawal of the soldiers is to begin this month until all the soldiers are out of the country by the end of December. The AU plan is to leave a technical military personnel on the ground to help train Somalia military. Javan, from where you stand, is Somalia ready to be left, by itself?
Where we are, Miriam, I agree. First of all, I agree with President Uhuru Kenyatta that our army should extend their mandate in Somalia to ensure that the country stabilizes. You know, Miriam, they're heading to a very critical moment where they're having their elections. Therefore, I feel is the best option that Kenya and the other AMISOM, country that are under AMISOM, should do to ensure that the country stabilizes. Because you have seen, Miriam, when these armies leaves the country, the issue of Al-Shabaab becomes a big menace around the East African countries. Therefore, we must say that it's a good move. And I think Somalia, where it is not stable. It needs those kind of intervention to ensure that the country stabilizes and it gets to the next level in terms of political and economic prosperity. And Miriam, on the issue, I think, and I agree with Dr. David Masanga, Somalia will stabilize when Mohamed Farmajo will step out of office and allow somebody else who cares for their country, a person who is patriotic to their country, to take the position of leadership and to take Somalia to the next level. Thank you.
All right, very well. And one of our viewers here, Emre Yunus, thank you so much for watching. You're saying AMISOM was initially effective, but they're not relevant anymore. Somalia Army is now capable of taking over the security role in the country. Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam. We need to understand that the reason why the continued AMISOM stay in Somalia is that they were supposed to have their own army. Farmajo was supposed to have invested in a strong army that will pacify the peace in Somalia and also leave their AMISOM leave their country in the hands of Farmajo and his administration. But you know, and I know, and the people of goodwill know, and the ordinary Somalians, Somalis know, that Farmajo himself has not been able to do that. The only achievement Farmajo has done in terms of national security is concerned in Somalia is to send a few military Land Rovers and a few military officers to intimidate Kenya on the Kenyan-Somali border. What Farmajo has done today is a disgrace to the people of Somalia and also to the international community that has been of so much help, especially Kenya, that has done a lot of human sacrifices in Somalia. And I've said before, and I'll repeat this, and I'm not saying this to act the people of Somalia. I'm saying this with a view of what is going to happen in Somalia. There were elections that were supposed to be done on 8th of February 2021. Farmajo did not do that. The opposition continues ignoring Farmajo because they know he's hell-bent in staying for more years in power. If Farmajo, you want them to stay for more years in power, Mr. Farmajo Abdullahi Mohammed, you should have done this. You should have gone to the election. The people of Somalia elect you as their next president. Then you have a mandate that is as a legitimacy. But what you're trying to do today, you continue doing this against the will of the people of Somalia and also against the constitution in Somalia. Again, Mr. Farmajo, your leadership today has no legitimacy because that period elapsed on 8th of February 2021. When Mr. Farmajo, for Somalia to move forward, you have to go home. And for people of Somalia to pacify their peace and national security and also be left alone to run their affairs as a sovereign country, Mr. Farmajo, you have to go home. For the people of Somalia to continue entrenching democratic tendencies in their country, you have to go. Because nobody is agreeing with you, even regional governments are not agreeing with you, Mr. Farmajo. It is the high time you left the country. Somalia is bigger than yourself, Mr. Farmajo, because what we are seeing today, instead of you pacifying the peace, building up your national security apparatus so that you can be able to take over your country, all we are seeing is you are training of 1,000 pirates in Turkey. What war are you fighting, Mr. Farmajo? What are you planning to do with those 1,000 pirates? Instead of training 1,000 pirates, you should have equipped the army. You should have trained the army very well so that the army can be able to take over Somalia and also bring back the lost glory of Somalia. Mr. Farmajo, since the days of your uncles Yadi Bare for in 1991, you want to take this country back to the dogs again. Somalia was made a pariah state. You continue undermining the will of the ordinary Somalis. The poor people in Somalia continue being undermined by your administration, Mr. Farmajo. It is the high time you left the people of Somalia alone. When you go out of this world, even when your last grandfather left the earth, the people and the soil of Somalia will remain, Mr. Farmajo. So you need to be able to pacify that and also leave the people of Somalia alone to continue doing their thing as the people of Somalia, because what you are doing today, you continue entrenching an illegitimate government that has sold well blocks in the Kenyan well blocks in Ram Basin, and also you continue advancing your selfish agenda. As a resident of Minnesota, you need to go back to America, Mr. Farmajo, so that the people of Somalia can elect new leaders. Why are you staying in an illegitimate government today, and the people of Somalia continue facing external and internal threats from your administration? Because, Mr. Farmajo, the people that you have taken their money, the people that have been able to corrupt you so that you can be able to undermine the rule of law in Somalia, and also for you to sell oil blocks that belongs to Kenya. You don't think that Kenya is going to sit pretty, Mr. Farmajo. You need to be able to be a man enough and also go back to Minnesota peacefully, or also face the consequences of your actions, because for every act there shall be a reaction, Mr. Farmajo. All we are asking you is that you leave Vira Somalia today so that the people of Somalia will have their own peace and also their country can go back to normal settings, because, Mr. Farmajo, you have taken your country to the dogs. Thank you, Miriam. Right. I submit.
Very well, thank you so much. And Doctor, yesterday in the afternoon, we were having a conversation and we were trying to look at Kenya's position right now. President Uhuru Kenyatta being the chairperson of East Africa Community. Also, Kenya has the position of the chairmanship of the Peace and Security Council in the African Union. This is a standing decision-making organ of the AU for the prevention, management, and resolution of conflicts across Africa. And also Kenya's position as a non-permanent member in the United Nations Security Council. And we saw while President Uhuru Kenyatta was speaking last week during a virtual meeting that was organized, I think by UK, Kenya said he was hoping that the two other non-permanent members from Africa, they'll speak in one voice. That will be Tunisia as well as Niger, in order to advance, the issues that affect this continent. I don't know how you see this playing out and Kenya's position in all this, and how will that influence how issues are articulated on behalf of this continent. Doctor.
Yeah, I missed that question, Miriam. Sorry.
Doctor, I will find you definitely. I said, Kenya assumed, the chairmanship at the AU of the Peace and Security Council, and this is a standing decision-making organ of the AU for the prevention, management, and resolution of conflict. And as we know right now, also President Uhuru Kenyatta is the chairperson of the East African Community, as well as Kenya resumed its, position at the United Nations Security Council as a permanent member, as a non-permanent member. So during a speech last week, President Uhuru Kenyatta, they had a UNSC virtual meeting, and he was saying he was hoping that these other two nations from Africa, which make up the A3, that is Tunisia and Niger, and now Kenya, who are now members of the non-permanent seat there at the United Nations, he was hoping they'll speak in one voice so that they're able to advance the issues surrounding this continent. How do you see that playing out? Are we likely to see these members, speaking as one with Kenya when it comes to matters affecting this continent? And how will Kenya's position make addressing some of these issues? How will that work out for this continent?
In normal circumstances, Miriam, thank you very much for that question. In normal circumstances, there would be African countries who would be speaking in one voice. But in this abnormal situation, where Africa, especially the African Union, having been captured by external darker forces, working on behalf of external forces, is captured state, helpless, it will talk in several tongues. I think President Uhuru Kenyatta's leadership at the AU as the Security and the Peace Chairperson Council, he should work hard, very hard. He should work hard to make sure that this country this continent does not slide into divisions. Let me tell you, Miriam, the French will come and tell Niger, you said the other French countries are what?
It is Niger and Tunisia. Mm-hmm.
Niger and Tunisia. Mm-hmm. Those are already French. So the French will deal with them. There's only one English-speaking country. South of the Sahara is Kenya. We saw the division, Djibouti. Djibouti put a bid to become a Security Council member. You saw how many countries in Africa voted for Kenya. Those divisions are the ones that has put us at crossroads. Africa has not worked. Africa will not work if we still have those colonial mentality boundaries. You see, we destroyed it. Some small Muzungu sat somewhere in 1833, 84, and this cut us to pieces, said you go here, you are Uganda, you are Kenya, you are Tanzania, you are Burkina Faso, you are this. That's it. But we have not sat down as Africans to reinvent. Renaissance. We need a renaissance, an African renaissance. Do we belong to the continent that has minerals? Yes. Do we belong to the continent where sunshine is not apportioned? Yes. We are better off than Europe, because in Europe, the sunshine is given to you 4 months and the rest is cold, winter. So you have, ours is 365 days in every part of Africa. You rarely find the smaller parts where there's snow, where in the Mediterranean climate, where you find snow, where you find winter and the summer. We are endowed with so many minerals. But the problem we have a lot of disunity. So President Uhuru Kenyatta's call might not be very much welcome at this moment. It could be a welcome call, a very good call, a very good suggestion, but it's not working. Hii Friday tuambiane ukweli.
So you don't see these countries cooperating with Kenya?
No way. Nobody in the Foreign Affairs Ministry should lie to the president. No. This Tunisia will listen to where? France. Niger cannot even build a toilet. What Kenya builds its own toilet? What are you telling me? France will come and say, we are offering you the whole of this town, several new toilets, and they will clap. We don't have a united voice on the continent. It is not there. And the time has come not to speak by quoting it that Pan-Africanism. No, it is not there. There is no Pan-Africanism. If there was Pan-Africanism, Miriam, my dear sister, if there was a Pan-Africanism, would Somalia have gone to ICJ? Surely, where is the Pan-Africanism? The Pan-Africanism died with Siad Barre, who could give people passports, forged passports for ANC, for Mandela, for Zuma, to pass through Mogadishu before you go to China and Russia. Pan-Africanism died with Lumumba. Pan-Africanism died with Jomo Kenyatta. Pan-Africanism died with Nyerere. Look at what the success of Nyerere is doing. Look down there. Just change your left eye. And imagine Tanzania is there. If someone offers you a holiday for 10 days for free with 1 million if you finish it, can you go there now? The pandemic is hitting hard. Is that Pan-Africanism? Look across, look north. Ethiopia is gone. They went into Tigray. They slaughtered the people. Miriam, where is the Pan-Africanism? They allowed Eritrea to slaughter people. The butcher of Asmara went and slaughtered my Tigray people. Is that a Pan-Africanism? It's the same butcher who has made Mogadishu stubborn. Ukweli yambiwe. Barometer. Truth barometer. Ukweli. Isaiah Fakes, I worked with you. You look at this face and say you did not work with me. Where, Isaiah, where? That guy, we knew he could become like that. I know him. We used to earn 150, 300, 450 pounds a month. That was great money in 87, 89 in London. And he could save his money. So he has become a dictator. Can that one be at Pan-African? Where is Pan-Africanism? Tell me. Pan-Africanism sank down with people like Patrice Lumumba. You mean the French, the Belgium did not know that they had killed Lumumba? They hid Lumumba until last year, isn't it? Not last year, 2019. Then on a Christmas, about 23rd December, they brought Lumumba. They said we have been keeping his body for display. Display, is this an animal? Is this an animal? You display the bones of someone from 1960. Look at that, Miriam. It's their Pan-Africanism. So in a nutshell, cooperation is zero. Tunisia and Niger, you will see them opposing even Kenya. Finally, let me make you laugh. In 1990, in the 1970 resolution that bombarded Libya, can I shock you? Can I tell you the country that said yes? You know the country? You know the president? You know who paid him the money to say yes? Where is he now? Where is he? He's on trial for corruption in South Africa. Zuma and South Africa killed Libya. Germany, which was on the Security Council, abstained. They were looking for only one vote. If you miss one vote, the resolution could collapse. And guess what? Who comes in to fill the space? The loudmouth greedy man called Jacob Zuma directed his ambassador to New York to vote yes. And you are growing so many of them in Kenya here. You can see one Kenya, Kirimi, knows one man who is growing here. If you have that one, he will tell you vote yes. President Uhuru Kenyatta is a great guy. And he has kept the peace, the Pan-Africanism. But we have very bad other leaders on the continent who don't keep their side of bargain. Therefore, there might not be anything much achieved. Kenyatta can achieve as an individual, as a country, Kenya can achieve. But in AU, in African Union and the UN, they will be divided on how big you will feed our stomach. Because AU is captured. Look at Muhammad Faki. He's sold out. He's a sellout. He has been sold. He's looking for money to go on the campaign against President Idris. He doesn't care about AU. He doesn't. The Secretary General should fly. For example, should fly. Right now, the Secretary General should be where? In Kampala. To convince President Museveni that sit down with these people. And don't, please. But what we are seeing, there is nothing there. He would be in war-torn areas. But he plays lip service. Show me one letter. And I want you to do this after your show, research. Has the AU ever, the Secretary General, written him, Muhammad Faki, since he came to power? Has he ever written a letter disassociating himself from ICC? One, there is none. The only man who wrote a letter was the deputy. And that letter caused the deputy so many problems. Because the French were on Mr. Muhammad Faki to ask him, why are you doing this? We had an agreement with you. So Miriam, my dear sister, Uhuru Kenyatta is the chairman of AU Peace and Security Commission. Thanks. Is the United Nations Security Council Sahara, South of Sahara representative. Thanks. But when it comes to decisions of international and global that affect Africa, Tunisia and Niger will vote differently.
All right.
They will be pocketed by external powers. And Uhuru will remain on his own, pushing the agenda. And that is the grim fact, truth. Let's not quote Deo Friday. Hakuna quote anything. We tell it as it is. So that the shapers of foreign policy in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs should know that it is an impossible job. They should not go there telling the president we are okay on this level, we are okay on this. No, it is not. It's not what no, it's not. If Qatar and Turkey have defeated us here, across here in Garissa, who is disturbing the Mogadishu and Somalia? Qatar and Turkey. And they have embassies here. How many times have we called the ambassador of Turkey to come and be dressed down? None. They are the people killing the foreign policy of Kenya, the international image. But apart from that, Kenya has done very well on international scene. President Uhuru Kenyatta has a legacy on international scene. He brought a lot of employment, investment into this country. I want to end by saying I thank you. Thank you, Mr. No, I'm not ending the program, but by saying I thank the president for the courtesy, for the good work that he has done as a Kenya head of state in international scene. He has delivered good meetings into Kenya. Everybody knows Kenya. They know about it. Yes, he's brought SGR, he's brought buildings, he's building Nairobi afresh. Those investments cannot come without an international image. The image has to be there. Someone cannot lend you money when you have torn shoes that he knows you will not pay his money back. Can I quote one thing? And here it goes. I'll read it for you, which is not long, just half a second. I have 30 minutes. And this goes by this. it goes like this. I'd forgotten, sorry. Because Miriam, when a pigeon pea plant has no flowers, it blames the sun. Kirimi, when a pigeon pea plant has no flowers, it blames the sun. It is hard to accept one's own shortcomings. That's what Africa is. Have you got my meaning? When a pigeon pea plant, you see that plant, when it has no sunflowers, the flowers that come out of that pigeon pea plant, it says it is because of the sun. And guess what? That's what we are in Africa. Everything we say, it is colonial. But we are now 66 years of independence, Miriam. We have not changed to make sure that the flowers, if they fail, we blame the soil. Why are we not blaming the soil? So there you are. The president will deliver on his part, and Kenya will be shining, but the other two countries might not work with him. And that you have brought very interesting topics, and I thought you knew I was coming on the show. These are some of my good topics on international relations. Thank you very much on that. They will never work together. You have seen the examples, Kirimi and Javan. You have seen the examples of people. South Africa, that was given money by Gaddafi. The arms that liberated South Africa came from Gaddafi. It voted to kill Gaddafi. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised that they can team up and vote to do anything against Africa. It's normal. And you know, the French told Jean Ping, who was the chairperson of AU, to hold the plane of Museveni and others. Hold it where? Hold it in Mali, Bamako. I rest my case.
All right. Thank you so much. And that brings us to the last part of the show, where I'd like for the panelists to share what stood out for them in the week that was. And I'll start with you, Douglas Kirimi, of the stories that we've covered over this week. What stood out for you?
Miriam, what stood out for me is that for a man who has been campaigning for the last 3 years to be president of the Republic of Kenya, cannot win an MP seat in by-elections, Miriam, and in 18 months' time, we are expecting William Ruto to be competing head-to-head with Raila Odinga, head-to-head with Musalia Mudavadi, head-to-head with the Kalonzo Musyokas of this world, head-to-head with unknown candidates that we don't know. And also, Miriam, remember, he is also a man that won 4 BBI votes in many counties in Mount Kenya, where he has been spending his weekend. I don't think that William Ruto knows many churches as much as he knows Mount Kenya region. Today he is in Meru County. The same crowd are lying to him. They are lying to him and telling him, we are going to give you, these people are going to vote for you, and all manner of stories, Miriam. It has now come to our attention that the Asra narrative and Asralism has also been trashed by the people of Kenya. People don't want to be associated with poverty, Miriam. I hate poverty. In this country, people hate poverty that has been also been growing around the Asralism agenda in the country. And people have also been vindicated, the people that have been opposing the deputy president. They have said that he stands for nothing, he has no manifesto, he has no plan for this country. The people have spoken, and also these by-elections have also been able to teach us a lesson that William Ruto contested using UDA, because it is the party leaders who are being tested here, contested 7 elections and won a single ward in London, in Nakuru County. And also others have also been able to show their mettle, and I'm happy that Moses Wetangula has been able to chase away the UDA wave in Bungoma, and also won the Kabuchai seat, which was hived off the Raja Sirisia constituency that he represented for so many years in parliament. And also for Musalia Mudavadi ANC, that trunched everyone in a Matungu in Kakamega County. So Miriam, this is what has stood out for me, and I'm very happy that when you see this is also a good sign of things to come. Miriam, by-elections are a reflector of what is going to come. These people that William Ruto keeps telling us he has people and God, the others have deep state and they don't have God. They have defeated him. Because Miriam, elections are a matter of people. These people go out and vote. Chest dumping will not help William Ruto and his people. And also chest dumping, Miriam, it has shown us that if you keep chest dumping around, it is not going to show well. Humility counts, because these people also, when William Ruto would throw them during his political rallies and all that, they would keep very quiet but camp from one village to another. But at the end of the day, the will of the people of Kenya has stood out, even though yesterday I called out for these elections to be nullified, because I saw so much interferences from William Ruto and the company. But now, Miriam, we have seen the true picture of what is going to happen in the future. The only now thing we need to change going forward is the interferences and the violence that we saw, and also the voter bravery that we saw around those by-elections, because we cannot say this was a peaceful, free and fair election, Miriam. By your intent and purposes, this was a very violent, and the voter bravery was very rampant in these by-elections. But we need to also, as Kenyans, now see leaders for who they are. You just dump one day today that you have God and the people. God is going to allow you win these by-elections. But when your people are trunched, you say your party is 3 months old. I want to remind William Ruto, when TNA was 3 months old, it won 3 parliamentary seats, and also that showed that Uhuru Kenyatta is a political heavyweight, that he can sway people and also win positions for other people using his own party. William Ruto has been able to campaign and also win these seats for the people. And also, I'm expecting when this by-election is also held in Machakos, the UDA is going to lose big time, because this is the trend that is going to happen even in 2022, Miriam. And thank you. This is my submission.
All right. Thank you so much. Jevin Karanja, what stood out for you this week?
Thank you, Miriam, for that. One thing that is trending, because it was yesterday, is about the by-elections. And what have come out clearly is that the group calling itself the UDA, they are not determined to have a peaceful country. They are not determined to stay Kenya, to see Kenyans live peacefully. And what the art they have mastered is the art of causing chaos and intimidations. We have seen them blackmail and intimidate party of IBC officials, journalists, and so on. Therefore, we condemn such things, and elections should be free from all malpractices. And also, Miriam, something else that stood up is the corona, the COVID-19 jabs that arrived in this country. That was on Tuesday night. And Miriam, as I've said, this vaccine should be distributed well. The government should create a lot of awareness to ensure that Kenyans understand the need to have this vaccine. As I told you yesterday, there are a lot of misinformation around the vaccines, and people are saying that maybe the virus can protect you from other viral diseases, they can heal you. There's a lot of stories that is going around the vaccine, and a number of people, Miriam, they are saying that do not get the vaccine because of 1 or 2, 3 reasons. And Miriam, some are saying that the church have not given them a go on to get vaccinated. Some are saying that the vaccine, from the information, the rumors that we have been getting social media from other countries, where it is said that when you get the vaccine, you run mad. Therefore, at the end of the day, Miriam, the government should intervene and ensure that it creates awareness, it educates people on the need to get the vaccine. And most importantly, the government should keep on emphasizing the need to observe the government protocols that are already in place to ensure that we curb the spread of COVID-19. Miriam, I've seen, and it's worrying that the numbers have started skyping up. Therefore, it's high time that the government ensures that, some Kenyans think with the arrival of vaccine, the disease we have successfully won the war against COVID-19, but that should not be the case. Therefore, the government should come out and clear the air. To me, that is what stood out for this week. And I want to commend the government of Kenya, led by President Uhuru Kenyatta, for the good work they are doing to ensure that Kenyans are protected and to show leadership in times of crisis. We will truly remember him, and history will be fair on him. Thank you.
All right, Errol, thank you so much. And thank you for bringing up that matter of the vaccine, because remember yesterday when we were talking about it, and we were giving the example of that lady in somewhere in Rift Valley who said, even though the husband died with COVID-19, also she contracted it, but she was able to get healed. But she said she's not ready to take the vaccine because she was waiting for the Catholic Church. She's a staunch Catholic worshipper, and she's waiting for the leadership of the church to say whether the vaccine is safe or not. And I'm happy yesterday we saw the Catholic Church leadership endorsing the COVID-19 vaccine and telling its followers that if a chance comes and Kenyans now have to be vaccinated, because right now we know it's the vaccine we have in the country right now is targeted for the front healthcare workers and others, and so a bunch that will be coming in later, I think the rest of us might start receiving it. So the Catholic Church came out yesterday and said the vaccine is safe. So I think that is very good, responding in matters that really are of importance, because there are people who apparently have a lot of their faith in their spiritual leaders and other leaders. So I think that was very responsible for the church to come out and give its position on this vaccine. Doctor, as we conclude, what stood out for you this week? I don't know if Doctor is there. If he's not, then that's okay with you. Farewell. I think that's where we end the show today. This has been The Punch, and we looked at the news meeting.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
So the medium, what stood out for me this week is you and your panel. You did very well. In the absence of let's clap for let's smile for ourselves. You did very well. I was watching you from far, and I said, this is great. And I'm very, very impressed. That is number one. That stood for me, that the channel is grown, especially the debate on AU, on the public lecture of Tuesday. My dear, that one was crackers. It was a very good debate. You conducted it so well. Even the people that I was seated with were very impressed. That is one. Two, what stood again for me, like many other people on the panel have said, is the arrival of the much-awaited gold. The vaccine, the vaccination of Africa. Is it, or is it not? Or is it not about the time for Africa to start investing in research? Is it not about, if you're a PhD holder in plants, you studied the plants in the University of Nairobi, maybe the plants we have today might not be there tomorrow. Can you start investing in plants, in researching how you can develop new crop of avocado? Instead of telling us that you are a PhD holder, but you can't produce even a needle. Isn't it very important? And isn't it at times like it is very shameful that people who went out and pointed fingers at the legacy of His Excellency the President when he gave flowers to Britain, turned around to be saying we must be the first ones to have the same vaccine. It stood out for me again. And also what stood out is that at the beginning, people pointed fingers about KEMSA in a wrong way. Then appeared another second lady. And what stood out for me, is it true that ladies in this town are becoming fronts for operational businesses? We don't know. The second lady got almost 200 and something, 22 million. Shopping. What is this shopping? Go and shop in, shop. She got it. And she turned out to be the sister of Koistani. Didn't it stand out for you? The very critic of Uhuru Kenyatta on a daily basis becomes the COVID millionaire. This is on that list of accusation. How many COVID millionaires of whom we found are actually part and a parcel of the same? Very many. Very many. There you are. So it stood out for me. It is something that I will not take lightly, that people play double standards. Finally, what stood out for me is that this week, Punchline made 5 years. Miriam, we are 5 years old. We have finished one term of office. We have made one term of office. Kirimi, I wish I were in the studio, but we shall postpone our champagne and the chocolates. I know, Miriam, you don't take champagne, chocolates, and so on. I will try to buy some chocolates and some little champagne since I don't drink anymore. And I come to the office when I return. And you cheer up. 5 years is a legacy. We have grown from a small situation to now a manageable. How many people have come from this organization and got jobs in BBC? Huge number. At least I can count 4 who worked for me, for us, for this company, and they have gone. They have got jobs, which is very good development. And we have mentored so many younger people, and we are mentoring also young other people. Karanja, a journalist here. Kirimi is becoming a real expert of knocking down buildings where impossible, he passes through them. Miriam, it is 5 years of good work. And you have been a part and a parcel of this good work. You stabilized this ship. A ship that sails when the water is heavy needs a pilot, a captain who steers. No wonder you are the only female, and at times don't feel that I'm the only one. No, you have steered us properly in a direction of professionalism. And I thank you very much. God can hold your hand again, and all of you. And the other panelists, Professor Ngeri, Musa Haji, Daniel Wesonga, Wachera, we have another Samburu lady coming, Juno, to be one of our serious international panelists from London. She will be all the time an aged, very, very strong lady who will be able to peruse the London papers together with you. When you have three ladies on the panel, we are done. We thank all our panelists. That stood out for me. And lastly, have a nice weekend. A very nice one. This Sunday, I am on the show now. I will be around. I will be available from my clocking center, and I will be able to discuss everything with you. And but that's the much I can say today, Miriam. Thank you very much. That's it.
All right.
As for Ruto, the struggle continues.
Very well. Thank you so much, Dr. David Matanga. Yes, on the 1st of March, Punchline celebrated 5 years of broadcasting. Thank you so much. Douglas Kirimi, thank you. Jeevan Karanja, and of course, thank you, Professor Jared Onyari, who left the conversation a bit earlier. He's a teacher, so he has to go to class and, meet his other obligations. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Miriam Ogutu. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your weekend. The government of Kenya is keen on the development of social economic infrastructure to support the realization of the Big Four agenda and Vision 2030. The ambitious infrastructure projects are aimed at opening up the country for business and bolster productivity, particularly in the agricultural, manufacturing and the service industry, as this would bolster employment opportunities. Part of these critical infrastructure projects include the ongoing 27-kilometer expressway linking Nairobi's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and Nairobi's Westlands. Upon completion, the expressway will exponentially reduce travel times within Nairobi and thus help the country save man-hours, which is being lost in the traffic jams on a daily basis. The Lake Victoria Port Modernization Project to increase cargo handling capacity of the port and to increase Kenya's bilateral and multilateral trading within the region. The expansion of healthcare facilities to facilitate fruition of the country's universal healthcare coverage under the Big Four agenda. By speeding up movement of people and goods, the government is aiming to promote trading through reduction of travel times and costs.